video is not sponsored by Poppi.
But it's sponsored by Poppi.
Hi guys, and welcome to our first Q&A video. So on Instagram we asked you guys for like any questions you had, whether it be like relationship advice, or just questions about like dating, Christian dating, what that process looks like, our engagement process, wedding planning things, all the things.
Hold on, I wanted this my whole life. That's what I was gonna say. Be looking for this because I need a shampoo sometimes. I just need to be there. Anywho, yeah, we're just looking forward to be able to answering some questions that people may have. Because one of our desires as a couple and a Christian couple on top of that is just to be able to add value to people, to be able to share wisdom and experiences. You know, not that we have it all figured out, but we have learned a lot from a lot of wise couples, and we
will transfer their wisdom to you
because we're not applying anything. We're definitely applying a lot of it, and we're just grateful, and we just want to just kind of share that with you guys too. I love being silly more than anything.
That is true. He is silly and unserious 98% of the time.
As soon as I wake up in the morning, I'm ready to goof around.
Unserious. Yeah, so we're going to answer your questions. We're going to jump into that. Also, please ignore the Christmas tree.
Do not ignore
And now
the
that
Christmas
I
tree.
said that.
Stare at the Christmas tree the entirety of the video, please.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so what's the first question that we have?
Yeah, sure. So the first question that we have here, what is your favorite thing about being engaged?
My favorite thing about being engaged is being like, oh, my fiance, my fiance, my fiance, my fiance.
Yeah.
They went from boyfriend to fiance to husband real quick.
Yeah. Same. I would say being able to go from saying girlfriend to fiance was definitely like...
It feels like so, like... Yeah, like it just holds mad weight, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh wow, like am I finally an adult now? You know, you ever have like imposter syndrome where you just like always see yourself as a child?
There's a baby with a bib on.
Don't feel like that I'm, you know, old enough for things, and then I say something like that and I'm like, oh wait, I'm mature.
But it's just like, for me, it's just like knowing that we're gonna get married and this is my partner.
Right. I think the exciting part about this is that like it brings like a definitive like end time to our like courting or like dating process, so where it doesn't feel like unending of like, all right, like how long, you know, do we have to do this until we get that, like,
and then we get to finally do married folk stuff.
Yeah. What advice do you have for those courting in discussing future marriage and timelines?
Great question.
It's funny because I feel like Remy was just very forward and he was like, yeah, like this is the timeline. And I was like, that works. We weren't like, what should it be? It wasn't like this like long extensive thing. It was kind of just like, you were just very forward, like setting your intentions for men from like the get-go.
Yeah, I think timeline wise is like, I think it's like when to expect to finalize everything, and it's just like, for me, it's like about asking around, right? Because I think, you know, men and women, because obviously a lot of that weight is on the man as to when is things gonna happen. But as a man, it's just like, I don't know when to start. There's finances involved and stuff like that. But obviously when you have faith in God, like, just trust the Lord that he's going to provide, right? And just take that leap of faith. So if this is the one, if this person is the one for you and there is no doubt in your mind about it, there's no like proper timeline. Like we're just in a different generation, and
where we have to like test everything out and like wait a while and go through X, Y, and Z to like literally like test driving like marriage almost, to be like, you know, are you gonna, and like then it completely takes out the aspect of faith to where it's like you're not putting any faith in the Lord or in this other person. Like at some point you just have to go in like not 100% blind, but a little blind, to be like, I have to trust that, you know, I've seen this person for every part of them, from, you know, just trusting that they're being honest with you, to be like, yes, they've showed me who they are, and like the rest is in the Lord's hands.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Remy said, like if you really believe like this is your person, like there really shouldn't be a wait. And yes, like there's concerns with finances. This is a tough time to be alive.
Yeah. So timeline wise, there is no proper timeline if you know the person is the one. Just ask around. I've met people that got engaged in 3 months. I've met people that got engaged in 9 months. We got engaged in 7. You know.
And I anticipated that because like I said, like literally from the beginning, you were like clear intentions. This is what I want. This is what I'm pursuing. And it was like, yeah, 6 months. So like you said that you could have been so unserious, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna take you serious, and it's either gonna be like Christmas time or Valentine's Day, and then you was smack dab in the middle of that, and I was like, ah.
Yep. And
but yeah, so it gave me, like, as the woman, him being super direct and forward, it gave me like that time to kind of like anticipate and prepare. But you're never gonna be prepared. So men, pull the trigger. But I think as far as like, because discussing it goes, like, just have open conversation. Don't be afraid, especially when you are in a serious committed relationship. You know, don't shy away from just like point blank saying things and being straightforward, you know, like, because if that's gonna be your future husband or future wife, like, you just gotta say it straight, you know.
On to the next question. Yes. What are some confirmations or ways you knew you each found the right person?
I literally have a whole journal entry.
I didn't know this.
Oh, yeah.
Go on.
I'm like, I wish I could get my notebook out because then I could literally list all of the things. You were like 100 answered prayers for me. Because I prayed for so many like specific things in a man, and I feel like the Lord really just was showing me, like, just off the bat, just like your character. And I was like, wow, I prayed for, you know, obviously man of God. That was like non-negotiable, of course. But you know, someone that was just like kind and gentle, has like a leadership qualities, like it initiates things, but like isn't like aggressive, but is like firm, but kind and gentle and like sweet and thoughtful, like mindful, just so many things. So it was like right off the bat, like I just saw like God answering all my prayers. So that made it super clear. And I think the fact that like I had spent that time to intentionally pray and be like so specific with the Lord of like, no, this is the person that I'm looking for. It's like, you just like loved like Jesus to me. And I was like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's me. For me, I started praying on it like crazy. So how did I know? The Lord told me. I wasn't going to go up to her weird and be like, the Lord told me it was my wife.
Yeah, please like kind of run away or, you know, proceed with extreme caution if any man is throwing that on you.
Thus saith the Lord, use my wife.
Run from that spiritual manipulation, please.
Amen. I think it was just how we connected so well. We just developed a friendship at first, and it was just like seeing how sweet she was, how smart she was, how humble she was, just seeing how supportive she was in the dating process. One of the underlying things was just seeing her support and her pointing out things that I did right, and I was just like, wow, like that's different from my upbringing, you know. So that was just like really huge.
How did you involve your faith in your engagement? Or really, how do you? Because it's still happening.
That is such a great question. So as a man, a lot of the weight is on the man. So as a man, you're thinking like how am I going to do this? What about finances? And like trying to figure everything out, and you're just like thinking about having to hold all this weight. And that's initially why like a lot of men prolong the engagement, right? But from men that got married, like they say, listen, the Lord's going to take care of you. So I take a leap of faith knowing that the Lord is going to provide. And we've seen so far people being generous and wanting to pay it forward, people willing to want to help, vendors willing to want to give us a great deal. We can easily worry about living situations, but it's just like, I know that the Lord's going to give us a great apartment and living situation, and that we're going to be taken care of. That's essentially how I put my faith in like doing it, and just like I'm taking this leap of faith.
Yeah, faith is in the action. Like for me, it's like this whole time, even though it's only been a few months, has like really like tested and stretched my faith. And you know, it's still happening, it's still evolving. But because like at first, like a lot of just like fear and like worry was coming up for me, and it's like the Lord really had to take me to a place, and it was like a few weeks or a month or so. And I feel like I truly got to the point where I was like, oh, now I'm actually believing that like the Lord is going to provide for us and like take care of us. Because, you know, it's like, it's all fun and games when you're dating, but then when it gets serious, it's like, oh my God, there's a lot riding on this now. Like, we're going to spend our lives together.
Take the leap of faith. Yeah.
Like, it's serious. It's like, it's so interesting because it's like, oh my God, this is so fun. It's such a fun time, but there's so many other layers and emotions happening. So like bringing our faith into it, it's like without that, I think like things would just be crumbling if we didn't have our faith. But yeah, for me, it was just like having to, you know, go even deeper in my trust with the Lord to be like, okay, God, like, I know my mind is telling me all of these things right now, but you know, I have to like push that to the side and just really believe like you're going to provide for us. You're going to take care of us. And it's like, almost like when I finally started believing that, literally the Lord like moved right away. Yeah. I mean, he was already moving, but you know, just like really showed up in a big way when I was like actually at peace and being like, no, God's going to provide for us. And then like next day, like someone just being so generous to us, I was like, see, I knew something was going to happen.
I think like the Lord really moves in people's lives when they have that trust. And not say, I would only be happy and relax when I have those things. It's just like, no, I believe it now. Like, I believe you're good, and I believe it now. It's part of my identity. It's part of who I am.
Also, like, we have to. Like, the opposite reality would just be terrible. Like, we'd be freaking out. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I do. Like, some days I am stressing. And other days I'm like, okay, I got this. But, like, you know, it's not going to be perfect. But
Next question. What advice would you give to other Christians who want to date with intention?
Pray about everything.
Word.
And don't think, like, literally just, like, pray about everything.
So I prayed on it. Like, I prayed on it every night in my secret place. And, like, I was, like, really like pressing on this.
But it was like a short period of time before there was like an actual approach, which I also appreciate. Yeah. Don't delay, because one thing women generally don't like is, you know, like dragged along and then being confused. Like that was my whole thing. I was like, God, I need you to show me, because I don't even care if it's one way or the other. Like I want to know. And like immediately the Lord answered that, and you in that moment within like 10 minutes
I said,
we're like making conversation and like didn't stop.
Yeah. And I said, listen, I like you and I want you. You can do this the easy way or the hard way.
It's not what he said.
The choice is yours.
It's not what he said.
Definitely. I was intimidated by Sarah because I thought she was like this mighty woman of God, and I was just like, oh man, like.
Thought I was.
I was like, yeah. But then it turns out that she is a mighty woman of God. But yeah, I walked up to her and I was just like, listen, I want to start pursuing you. I want to start dating you. And just to be clear, like, I don't want to, you know, have options open. I don't want to see anyone else. I just want to focus on you. And you know.
It was like super awkward at first, because I think we were both like, we want to do this the right way, but we've never dated like within the church before, and like doing it the right way, and like him pursuing the right way, and you know, all these things, like not, you know, wanting to make sure that we're also setting a good example, like so many different things. So it was definitely like an awkward start.
Yeah, it was like me trying to catch my balance. Like I was keeping my balance, but I was there like shook the whole time, but I did it.
And I was just like,
I did it. Like I did it. Shoot. When it comes to being intentional, it's just being clear, being consistent, and just being direct. That's really it, you know, being respectful for sure. And it's just like you said, don't drag somebody along and not like communicate what you're feeling and like what you think of the person and what you're expecting with the person. Because like I knew I was here for the championship ring. Like, I was like, yo, I'm going all the way with it. Like, I'm not here to play games. Yeah, where's my ring at, man? There shouldn't be no hesitation or trying to be smooth and play it cool and build up anticipation.
Yeah, it's okay if you're not. She'll still say yes, because I did. Don't
bring in secular ways of doing things into something that's going to lead to a marriage.
Right.
Like, if this is your wife and they're on board with it too, like... Yeah.
The fans want to hear a song created by the both of you. Can that be a thing?
That is officially going to be a thing, yes.
Officially?
Let's do it.
Why is he weird? See, that's what I mean.
For those who may not know,
rap and romance.
I am a Christian rapper.
Yes. Remy Lewis.
But I definitely have some range and...
Apple Music, Spotify,
yeah,
Amazon Music, Remy Lewis.
This is my biggest fan, by the way.
You don't even know yet. What he has is great, but it's like, it's just gonna keep getting...
Don't sleep on my song Free. Look
no,
up
but
Free
yeah, it's great.
By Remy Lewis.
But I just mean like it just keeps getting better. Like all of his unreleased music is fire. Free is also fire.
Yeah.
How do your personalities balance each other out? Interesting.
I think it's my optimism. I have very hopeful. You know, but I'm also realistic at the same time. The optimism, because not to be, facetious.
It's okay.
You can easily lean towards pessimism.
Yeah.
So I can easily bring hope and optimism in the conversation to help balance things out and bring reassurance towards her.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, I think I forgot to say that as one of my favorite qualities. And again, it's even if it's something that can be annoying to me. Because it's going against my,
thought patterns.
Yeah, right. It's oh, I just want you to, be on the same page as me. I want you to, think the same way as me. But then, having to step back and realize, oh, you're actually, I'm doing more harm than good. And that's actually, helpful for me and it's helpful for the both of us. And definitely going to get us super far, in the long run. With just the amount of faith that he has, it's helped me increase my faith, because what are we gonna be doing out here having two pessimistic people, and it really just kind of goes against who we're supposed to be as Christians too. So
can't even imagine.
We wouldn't be right for each other.
Yeah, you tear each other down.
So when people are oh my god, we're so similar, we have all the same things in common, oh wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait a second. You have more faith for things, but then I'm okay. And I think you get frustrated with
faith only.
Literally. You get frustrated with me, but realism. I'm okay, yeah, let's be realistic and also have faith. So I think we're still learning to blend that together, where it's we need both. We need preparation and faith.
I definitely have that stubborn faith. There's no way you can convince me that this is
me. And then I'm we still have to be wise and prepared.
I serve a God that can part seas, you feel me? But there is that balance. I'm very just hyper faith, and then sometimes the Lord's will is different. The Lord gives, the Lord takes, but blessed is his name at the end of the day. But then it's just her preparation can balance that out. But yeah, we definitely have so many similarities. For those who do not know me, I am Dominicano, but I always joke around with her. I was babe, you and me if I was a white woman. Because if I say that and be brother, aren't you white? No, I mean, maybe. Wait,
but then him thinking that I was Latina.
Yeah, no, I definitely thought she was Latina. For sure. No, she got it. She got it. What's one quirky habit each of you has that other finds adorable? That's a great question.
You like to sniff. Yeah, he does this thing where he's I like sniffs.
Yeah. You know when you watch the videos when the dogs sniff all over the mic?
The meme of the sniffing. Yeah. Your boyfriend. When your boyfriend isn't wearing any cologne or nothing, but...
Yeah, just sniff up all of my ear.
Yeah.
Super adorable.
It's such a silly little innocent thing, but it's super quirky.
And then when I do it, she goes, it's too loud.
Yeah, that is definitely a quirky thing. But I'm you're just so cute. Something quirky. I do.
I guess the baby voice. Oh no, when you go like, wait.
But you did that. You started that.
I did?
Yes.
I started everything. What does serving together in ministry mean to you? So I think serving in ministry first starts with serving one another.
Oh, that's good.
If you have the capability of serving one another, that gives you a prerequisite to be able to begin serving others.
Yeah. And if you don't know how to do that properly, I personally don't think you have any business.
If it don't start here first, don't even try to go out there, bucko.
Yeah.
Pack it up.
And like, you know, even us as a couple, it's like we're still learning to do that. So I'm always like, hey, like I don't want anything too fast, too soon, you know? Like I want us to be built up before, you know, the Lord hands us anything.
Yeah, I think it would be worth mentioning that I think you serve me very well. So yeah, I think you do an absolute excellent job. So yeah. And then serving together is just like being within the will of the Lord. It's something that excites me and something I'm personally looking forward to be able to serve in ministry together. Obviously this is part of it, just to be able to share wisdom with
this,
you guys.
you know, this alone.
Yeah.
Not that we're like self-proclaiming or giving titles to ourselves, but you know, anything can be ministry. What that could mean to me is just like, you know, us being able to serve each other so well that we have the capacity to, you know, serve other people and lead other people in the right way and in the direction of Christ. You know, like even like my, you know, vision is for us to be able to help like other couples, you know, when the Lord like begins to entrust us with that. And that's what I mean, like, you know, in its proper timing, because right now, like we can only give so much because we've only experienced so much and we're not married yet, so we can't speak to marriage. And you know, we could speak to singles and people in the same, you know, season as us. But, you know, I think in the right time, like as we go through things, like, yeah, just being able to minister to other couples together.
Yeah, and I think it's just so great. I'm just so grateful for the couples that have taken us under their wing.
You know who you are.
Yeah, we're just so grateful for all the wisdom that we've been given and that they have shared with us. But yeah, like we can't speak into married things, but like I think it just goes without saying that like if you are struggling here and you're prioritizing serving out there more, like you need to backtrack, man. Like this needs to be a priority. Like there is no way that this can be falling apart and this relationship can be in shambles and you're treating
like,
people,
let me go support my brother. Like,
you know,
bro, get your butt home and go to your wife.
Literally, bro. Like, go to your wife. Go, like, you're capable of serving. You're capable of being good.
Yeah, and people are like, oh, person. It's easier with so-and-so because they're not giving me...
Nah, man. Nah, like, there is no way that you can go out there and carry another person's burden over your own spouse. Like, there's no way. Like, when there is negativity coming out from your spouse, that is a burden that they're carrying, and that is why they're reacting a certain way with you. It's either that you're being inconsistent in a certain way, or they're just struggling with something deep down inside. And that is your part to, like, if you can do that for a brother in Christ or for a sister in Christ, you should be doing that with your spouse first. Once this is solid, then that gives you all rights to be out there and serving and helping
and knowing your season as well. Like sometimes it's, you know, we can't speak to all the things and all the seasons and all the circumstances, but you know, being honest with like where you're at, to know like, hey, do I have the capacity to extend myself to other people in this way, or you know, does my main focus have to be like this right now? I think that's important too, to just like self-assess and be humble enough to be like, hey, I actually have to take a step back from that.
Yeah, for sure. But that is all the questions that we have for you guys.
We left a few out, but we love you guys so much.
Obviously there's a lot of time that has passed so far, but we're just so grateful for those who have tuned in, and just make sure to subscribe. You know, give us a follow even on our social media platforms, Instagram. So far we will be branching out and you know, having other platforms. But yeah, this is just the beginning for you know, for those who are tuning in, for the beginning phases of something that, you know, will blossom over time and bear good fruit. Fruity patooties.
Fruity patooties. but we love you guys so much.
We love you guys for sure.
And we'll see you in the next one. Glory.